don't even know if they've watched it yet, Phyllis. Lily hadn't even watched it when I spoke to her.
Take it from someone who's been there. I get it. It took my kids a long time to trust me after I faked my own death.
How if you're really, 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 really lucky, you find your person. The one. The one.
What the hell are you doing here? You know what? Never mind. I don't care. Just go right back out the way you came. Whatever fresh craziness this is, I don't have time for it.
Oh, Nick.
Hey, my soap fans, especially my Y&R fans, welcome back to the channel. And you know what? Let's get ready for a whirlwind of betrayal, seduction, and power plays, because we got to talk about these two formidable women, none other than the moves of Phyllis Summers and Claire Newman, who weren't just playing the game, they were the game. Yeah. Let's get into it. So let's start with Phyllis and her subtle stirrings, because we saw her with Danny laughing, teasing, acting casual, but with the phone buzzing in her hand. Yeah, remember that text message she got from Victor inviting herself to the ranch? Yeah, she joked about her life not being defined by men, but there was that little flicker that quote unquote someone wants her. I mean, she's deflecting, saying that she knows what she's doing, that anybody that stands in her way is going to be dismissed. So Phyllis then makes her move. This is where we saw the pivot point, where she stormed into Victor's domain with all the swagger that she can muster, saying that I got something you want. And she revealed that she had stole Kane's AI program, shows Victor the tablet, and essentially negotiates from a position of power how she was in the driver's seat now. Well, at least what she tells him. She also meet with Kane at the club, where we actually see gaslighting with a mixture of seduction at the same time. And you talking about the tension, it is dripping. And Kane is talking about how he knows she's been the victor. He suspects a double cross. Phyllis gets defensive, talking about how loyal and proactive she claims. This is the gaslighting. But the very act of going to Victor behind Kane's back is screaming betrayal. At the same time, we also are seeing a little bit of flirting going on, and the tension and seduction is so thick that it even had him saying how beautiful her eyes were. But at the same time, he know he can't mess with crazy. Oh yeah, she's definitely getting into Kane's head. However, Phyllis, she is still sharpening. She's busy looking out for number one and protecting her own interest. She's quietly, of course, aligned with Victor for now, or at least negotiating with him. And I gotta say, Kane and the Abbott's world are scrambling. I mean, she's sitting back with that, knowing with that Phyllis smile, like, let them think I'm playing one role while I'm pulling all the strings. So now we got Phyllis in the crosshairs, because we are now at that club this week where we got Victor and none other than Billy. Now, of course, at the club, this is where Victor asked for the transfer of the AI, and that has been completed. And of course, she's nodding, sits across Billy Abbott, who asks if she's working for Victor. She starts hissing, gaslighting once again. Why do you ask me? She flirts with the idea of being above Billy. Then she turns to Billy and say, I don't need a breakfast companion who treats me like a charity case. Yeah, defensive is definitely her tale. So Phyllis, I guess at this point, is elevated from schemer to power broker just with the gaslighting alone. She's just not playing. She's orchestrating amongst all of them. So for Phyllis, her week plan hits payoff. The deal with Victor is locked. Jabot is threatened. She sits back. Her foe knows that there's fire, yet she has yet to celebrate openly. But yeah, she thinks she's in the driver's seat. That war is ready. She's positioned herself to benefit. And she's also quietly telling, especially Billy, to mind his own business when he asks for her help, signifying that she's stepping away from being someone's helper to trying to be her own boss. That arc is complete. Phyllis is no longer just a female manipulator. She's trying to be the gaslighter, the seductress, and a queen maker. Then there's Claire. Now, earlier in the week, she was more in the background, but she's already under the surface of tension. With Kyle being in the picture, she's probably feeling the pressure of being the middle woman. And there's the hint of something brewing, of course, in LA with Holden Novak. She's not acting out just yet earlier this week, but you can feel her gearing up. Now, Claire, once again, less visible as we get into the second day of the week and the dirty details of corporate war, but you can see her arc shifting. There's the looming LA trip that we're in the middle of, the dance with Holden waiting in the wings, and she's moving away from Kyle into a whole nother orbit. Yeah, talking about the seed of her choice. Yeah, it's planted. Yeah, she played a toxic game of cat and mouse the previous week. As Kyle got ready to leave, she was like, what, you're done fighting? It's like, girl, do you want him to fight for you, or do you want to move on with Holden Novak? And as I said before, she wants to put Kyle on ice while she go explore Holden. Oh, we're going to talk about that too. So her shift toward Holden begins, especially when Holden sees a new side of Claire. Kyle is pressing, he's doing investigation work, but Claire is tired of being pursued, or at least he says she is. She starts leaning into Holden's world in LA. She's done waiting for Kyle to chase her, and she's ready to dance with a whole new problem. So she's no longer drifting, she's accelerating her decision. As Kyle returns from LA to Genoa City to help with the Abbott war, Claire sidesteps urgency. Kyle asks where she is. She's avoiding. She keeps her options open with Holden. Think of her as leaning into her so-called freedom over obligation. She chooses pleasure and agency, and the Halloween setup, definitely is intact. Yeah, this is her big payoff moment. We're back in LA, that whole shadow room. She's ordering shots with Holden. We see dancing, tells the memory of Kyle investigating Holden to go away. And then she locks eyes with Holden saying, let's forget about Kyle, and they leave that club. They're making out. They arrive at a hotel room. She has what she wants. She's no longer the woman Kyle chases. She's the woman deciding. She chooses Holden. She chooses that LA nightlife with Holden over Genoa City emotional treadmill. Meanwhile, Kyle is at home in a pig costume, trick-or-treating with Harrison and missing Claire. Claire's choice resets their whole dynamic. And what Claire really wants is a piece of Holden. Okay, so there you have it. And key takeaways on Phyllis and Claire. First, Phyllis Summers. This week marks her transition from covert schemer to overt power player. She steals the weapon, Kane's AI, negotiates with Victor, distances herself from old loyalties like Billy and Kane and Jack, and positions herself as indispensable. She gaslights Kane. I'm loyal and protective. You should know that. While flirting with him and lying, sidesteps Billy's expectation and makes Victor sign on. Yeah, she's the one pulling the strings, or at least she think. As for Claire Newman, while Phyllis plays board games of power, Claire plays emotional roulette. She's tired of the chase with Kyle. She's leaning into Holden. She moves physically, to LA and in that hotel room with Holden, emotionally deciding over being decided for, and sensually as she chooses to sleep with Holden. The arc, obsession with being chased, frustration, opting out, choosing someone else. Yeah, she shifts from susceptible to selective. And you probably ask why this week matters. Well, when Phyllis moves the AI deal, she shakes the corporate world around her. And it's not Kane or Jack driving the shake, it's her. she becomes the catalyst. When Claire sleeps with Holden, she's sending a message. Kyle's investigation, his protective stance, his emotional availability, yeah, it's not enough. She wants her own direction, whether it's for the best or not. And the juxtaposition, well, Phyllis controls tech and power. Claire controls her body and choices. Both women shift from reacting to acting. So there you have it, my soap-savvy friends. Phyllis Summers declaring war by way of high-stakes corporate betrayal, and Claire Newman declaring independence with a weekend in LA and a bedmate named Holden. Two very different stories, 1 week, and both reminding us that in Genoa City, the women really are trying to pull the strings. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment. Which woman has the upper hand after this week, or neither? Until next time, we'll see you all soon. Bye, Soapies.